When I stop speaking, don't stop abruptly. Move into a nice closure, okay? What you need to do is just trust your intuition, because that's going to work best with this. This is the creative process. During my internship through the Union Institute, I had the incredible opportunity to visit 2 developing countries, India and Peru. What I observed while I was there was seeing children on the street, earning a living, trying to survive day to day.
¿Cómo se llama otra vez?
My name's Luis.
This is Louis. Louis did my shoes. Like this.
Ironically, the disparity of resources available between students in the U.S. and developing countries doesn't seem to have a sustaining impact on students' interest in learning, seen as disinterest, distraction, and disengagement in the learning process. So the purpose of this video is to explore nonlinear constructs of learning and why sound, rhythm, and music. Because sound, rhythm, and music are engaging. They invite the senses of the entire body into the process. They wake the body up, and they bring us to present time.
When you're watching little ones, children, and they're so uninhibited, there aren't those censoring mechanisms in place yet. And they're spontaneous. They sing and chant and rhyme and make poetry and experiment and invent. And the older I started listening to all those outside messages that said you have to be less, or like I'm doing now. I started to hear that manifest itself in the way I talked to people all the time. I became intimidated, afraid to share my ideas and feelings.
European-based education tends to be largely didactic. This is changing, but the question of being given facts, especially the higher you go in education, then memorizing and regurgitating those facts, being able to identify what someone has told you this is, being able to write about what someone else told you, and as closely as possible echoing their words and their perspective is regarded as significant learning.
There's something much more to learning than being able to regurgitate concepts that somebody has told you. And that concepts are always changing. Who we are is changing. It actually felt like an insult that people would be boxed into a diagnosis given by somebody who mechanically was testing them. And that they would furthermore be treated as if that was who they were.
But on the native side, learning is experiential. So if you want to learn basket making, then would spend not just a class in basket making, but many seasons learning the things about the trees, the plants that go into making a basket. And then actually, when you had completed, rather than a degree or a diploma or a grade, you would have a finished basket and the ability to make more. So therefore, you go and you learn how to do something by doing it.
Who am I? And what do I want?
And music was the one thing that continued to allow me to express myself in a way that didn't feel like it had any limitations. Music is spontaneous, and I think it reaches us on so many different levels. We become immediately open to each other because we're not worried about articulating, like being smart or clear or right. It just happens. Music is a voice that I think transcends all those boundaries.
Where am I going? And how do I get there? When I was in school, no one told me I could do anything I wanted to do. I could be anything I wanted to be. 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 Yeah, that's the rhythm I want to get.
How do we identify ourselves? In the film One Giant Leap, Ram Dass says that we over-identify with the roles that we play. Our roles are constantly changing and shifting as our daily experiences change and shift. By learning to detach from these roles, we have the opportunity to learn and to experience in new and creative ways.
It takes tremendous discipline to be a free spirit.
I believe that we have a responsibility to our future generations and to our global community to learn about history from a variety of cultural perspectives. Music is a wonderful means of doing this.
The celebration for Nelson Mandela could be heard all over Africa. The drums you could hear loud and proud. You could hear the children chanting from a distance.
Even though our people are living and adapting into this lifestyle, it's very important that we keep our dreaming alive for our young ones, our children's identity.
I am you and you are me, I see. Yeah, we might survive as brothers, yeah, all perish here as fools.
Music has been used for hundreds of years to explore relationships. I envision music being used in holistic systems, teaching and guiding students to learn using their entire body, mind, and creative spirit. I see music being used to build bridges between cultures, to help students to identify with whom they are from their cultural perspectives, to help them to align their bodies and to learn to self-center and regulate, and to awaken their body and to bring life to the learning process.
We're human beings. And so we do bring these parts of ourselves that are seeking. We are, we're just living. We're trying to use any part of our senses and our sensibilities to reach out to each other. I think we also recognize that that's our super objective too.
Music is an exciting and engaging way to explore oneself in relationship to your cultural heritage. And the exciting part is that each culture carries its own sounds, rhythms, tonalities, and harmonic frequencies.